In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Illustrator to create a roughened text effect like these examples. For your project, I'd like you to choose two words that contrast. For example, winter, summer, fire, ice, something along those lines. To start off with, go ahead and go to File, New to create a new document. Select Art and Illustration, Postcard, change the orientation to horizontal and title it Roughened Text and click Create. So in our nice blank document, we're going to write our word. So I have the text tool selected, and down here I have just the default black stroke with a white fill. I'm going to click to bring the fill forward. I will click in the document and write my word, winter. I want to choose a really cool looking font, so I'm going to highlight this with the text tool, go over here to my text options and choose a nice looking font. And I already know that I like this one called Vladimir Script. Now you might not have Vladimir Script on your computer. Every computer has slightly different fonts on it. The size right now is size 12, which is really small. I'm going to change it to about 150 and then hit the Enter key. Nice. So with the Move tool, I'm going to click this and drag it down to a little bit of a better spot. And I'm going to change the color. So the fill is forward. So all I need to do is go to Window, Swatch Libraries, Color Books, and open up one of my favorite color panels, which is True Match. And I'll choose this nice pale wintry blue color. Now the rest of the color changes that we're going to make, we're not going to use the traditional way that we usually make color changes, which is over here with the stroke and the fill. We're going to use something called the Appearance panel. So I'm going to open that right now, Window, Appearance, and I'm going to use this a lot, so I'll leave it over here on the side. First of all, I'm going to click this side menu and click Add New Fill. So the fill defaults to this kind of dark gray black color, and as long as this is selected, I can change the color. So I'll choose maybe minty wintry green color like this one right here. Now to roughen this, I'm going to go to Effect, Distort and Transform, Roughen. And with my roughen options, I'm going to click preview so I can see what happens. So I'm going to put the points on smooth. I think of winter as kind of more of a smooth effect. You can choose either one. I'm going to make the details less and the size less because it was a little bit too wiggly for me to begin with. So I think for my particular word, 2 and 5 look pretty nice. So I'll click OK. Now I'm going to create a new fill and change it to another color. Let's use maybe, how about one of these brighter blues here. All right, and now I'll do the same thing. So I'll go to Effect and Distort and Transform, Roughen, and I'll put on Preview, Smooth, and I'll move these around and create an effect that I like. So this time I like 2 and 3. So I'll click OK on that. Now what I'm going to do, stretch this down a little bit so I can see all of my fills and whatnot here in the Appearance panel. I'm going to click on the green fill and I'm going to offset it to the side a little bit. So, excuse me. Effect, Distort and Transform, Transform, and I'll put Preview on so I can see my changes as I make them. And I'll just scoot this over so it's offset a little bit. And I think that looks pretty good right there. So I will click OK. Now, I am next going to add a stroke to this. So I already have a stroke option over here in my appearance panel, but it's set for none. So I'm going to go for maybe a really pale lavender color, something like, yeah, that looks okay. And I'm going to show you how to apply a brush to that. So I will go to Window, Brushes, and open up this side menu, Open Brush Library, Artistic, and I'll choose Paintbrush. Feel free to experiment with some of the other brushes. So when I click on these, they kind of go crazy pants right away. There is a way to fix that. So I'll choose this one right here, Dry Brush number 2, and I can actually change the scale of that a couple of different ways. So over here in the appearance panel under stroke, I'm going to open this little side menu next to the icon of the brush. Click this Options of Selected Object button right here, and now I have this scale box. So make sure that Preview is selected, and then you can move this until it's more of an appropriate size, and I think that looks pretty good right there, so I'll click OK. So I'll collapse this so I can see my my options here. One more thing that you can do is you can reorder these. So say I want to see what green looks like on top of blue. So I can click the green and drag it up and then drop it on top of the blue. I could, let's try taking the stroke and moving it underneath the green. Okay, so you get the idea. You can move these around to create different effects. One more thing that I'll show you. I'm going to make the green transparent. So I'll click the green fill, go down here to opacity, and right now it's at 100%, and I'll just back that off a little bit. So you can see that there are lots and lots of options to create really cool text effects. I'm going to show you a few more for creating the word summer. So I'll get the text tool again, and this time Illustrator remembered that I am using this certain font and it already chose it, so I don't have to redo that part. But I do need to change the color, so I will let's see here, I'll choose a nice pale yellow color. Okay, so let's try highlighting this and then choosing the pale yellow color. Okay, that's the ticket. There we go. And I'm going to use the move tool and drag this down a little bit. All right, so now in the appearance panel, which should still be open, if not, go to Window, Appearance, and it will show up. Click the little side menu, add a new fill. I'm going to try this vibrant orange right here and do Effect, Distort and Transform Roughen, but this time I'm going to leave it on corners because these spikes kind of remind me of the rays of the sun and kind of being irregular. And I like the looks of 3 and 5, so I'll click OK. Your values could be different. I'm going to add another fill, and this time I'll make it this really nice, rich, vibrant orange color. And I'm just, this one up here at the top where it says Apply Roughen, that will use the same values as the first one. And I think those will work, so I'll just click that and it looks fine. So to offset it, I'll click the lighter orange one, go to Effect, Distort and Transform, Transform, and click Preview so I can see what I'm doing. And I'll move it slightly to the side, maybe something like that, and click OK. Now I am going to go to Stroke And I'm going to add this really nice, beautiful, vibrant red on there. And this time, instead of using a brush, I'm actually going to apply an effect to the stroke too. So Effect, Distort and Transform, and this time I'm going to use a different one. It's called Pucker and Bloat, and I will click Preview, and Pucker and Bloat gets crazy right off the bat. So make sure that whatever you do to your text, you can still read it. So even though this looks cool, this is not a good option because it looks too crazy and you can't read the text. So I will choose something that's a little bit less crazy there. So maybe something around 5 looks pretty good, and I'll click OK. So now maybe I will perhaps choose my dark orange and affect the opacity of that, make it a little bit less, and try to get some different looks there. Okay, well, I think that those both look pretty amazing. So I'm happy with that. I will save my changes. Make sure that you turn the project in so that you get credit. That's it for this video.